Dude, this is a juicy book.
It is.
As soon as you leave, I'm like, did you guys go this deep on Impulsive?
What? No. You would have said, I'm going to be married to Dr. Stepnick one day.
Wait, wait, hold on. He was your kid's doctor? Did you think I was going to dive this deep? Because I could tone it back. I just wanted to know.
You know, people can question why I made the choices I made. These are why.
I'm just playing, I don't fight, I do pray. I only go the way of Mr. Yahweh. Try to correct me, but I'm stuck in my own ways.
Why would you take advantage of that?
No way. I
don't believe I have hatred. I just believe there is hatred.
Welcome back to the George Janko Show, guys. I'm here with my second mother. Her name is Pam. I reached out to Logan and I said, hey, man, like, is this okay? I reached out to him. I'm like, great. You're good with it? He goes, yes. I'm like, first question, how was it raising a gay son? And then he answered back. He said,
did?
She's been dying to answer that about Jake for a long time.
Oh, I knew he was going to turn it.
Yeah, me too. I
Totally knew he was going to turn it over.
It was just me trying to test the waters, see if everybody's okay with it.
Yeah.
But you wrote a book?
I did.
Dude, how did that come about? Like, were you sitting around being like, something got to tell these people?
Yes. Somebody has to tell these people what to say and do and save the world from social media, the internet fame. And I'm the only one that could do it. So I did it. Literally I didn't realize this till I looked back in my phone. I have been taking notes since 2019. I started writing 2022, doing voice recordings and making all my, like what I would do. But I had no idea how to do it. And so I had people always coming up to me like, how did you do it? What did you do? What did you do different? I'm like, I don't know. God just blessed me. That's what my answer really is. But I decided through some encouragement, I'll call it, from some team members, Jake and Logan's team. They're like, you have to do this. It's like your obligation. You're the only mother in the world that can tell this story. And it will help others, like encourage me. So, of course, I'm a caretaker. I'm going to help others. It's just how it is. So I all of a sudden I was investigating who could help me. And nothing worked out. I won't go into all the details of all the people I went through. But I got discouraged. Like, it's not the time. I'll just kind of put it aside. And I suddenly got this email from a girl named Riley Daniel. And she was so, I don't know what the word, just she said the right things. Like, hey, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I thought, yes, but it hasn't really come to fruition. Met with her and asked her, and here I am, year and a half later.
When you were like, okay, I'm going to write this book, what was the main function of this book? Like, if somebody wants to buy this book, what are they going to walk away with? Like, what is the topics that you get into?
Right. So 2 questions in there, and I'll ask the question back to you. Why do you think I named it that?
I'm assuming clickbait because we're in this game.
Bravo.
Okay. I'm assuming.
Who helped me come up with that?
For sure, Jake and Logan. For sure. I actually just reached out to him about the thing they did with Bradley Martin.
Yes.
Genius.
Yeah.
It's in his blood.
Crazy. It's totally in his blood.
And they didn't feel uncomfortable, just like their mom.
Well, I'm going to cry again. We haven't even got started. You are going to love this because I was going to name the book entirely different from something you taught me. It was going to be rule number 1, don't read the comments.
Amen.
Do you remember, and you may or may not, when I made a video about a certain blonde and a certain Asian boy who wrote a diss track against Jake?
Yeah.
And so then I made a vlog, and my retaliation at the end was, that is an irrelevant. I didn't say content. I said their song is irrelevant.
Yeah.
You would have thought that I stabbed someone to death the way I got attacked in the comments because they had such a huge army, we'll call it, right? And I called you. I remember where I was. I don't know why I called you first. Maybe, I don't even know. Maybe Logan didn't answer. So I called you. And you're like, Pam, you didn't learn yet. You don't read the comments. And I'll never forget it. And so I thought that's a perfect name for a book. So for 3 years, it was going to be rule number 1, don't read the comments.
Yeah.
So when I told Logan, he was in his kitchen.
That's terrible.
That is so boring, Mom. If you walk by in a bookstore, oh wait, so he's pacing back and forth. He goes, "You have to name it." He said, use the F word.
Yeah. That's how you pitched it to me first, and I said, "Hey, let's start it a little bit." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So I was like this. No. Ooh,
I'm hooked.
that could be good. Because we are living in the era of people yelling at my kids, F the Pauls,
Yeah.
F this, and they play the heel in their professions and they like make it happen. They want people to say that. They have built their empires off people yelling that. They've turned around that narrative. Maybe some people go cry in a corner that they're being, screamed at, signs being held up in the audience. Not my kids. They turn it around and make a joke of it and some self-deprecation as well. And they've built their empires off the narrative of the negativity.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I've never said that, but lots of people have. And the clickbait version of it. And like Logan said to me, would you read a book that said, don't, in the bookstore, if you walk by it, said, don't read the comments or F the Pauls? What would you pick up? And then if you pick this up and then turn it over, which is what you want people to do, and then you read the back, you understand.
Right.
You love them or hate them. You can't ignore them. Welcome to our universe. We're in the era of this, and that's why.
Before we move on to anything else, they're good at turning off their emotions. When I had that conversation with you, it wasn't registering with you. You just, it's hard for a mom to look at her children, even if their children are like, no, it's fine. This is how we get money. But it's still what you raise. So when you look at them as babies. And so when you're seeing the whole world paint them as something they're not, and instead of your children being like, hey, no, this is not where we are, and they're like, yo, let's run with this. I'll be the problem child. What does that do to you as the mom? Did that
It's still very difficult. Even today, when I try not to read the comments, we all do it.
Yeah.
You can't stop yourself.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't title it then that way.
Yeah. So, but I stop. I do stop myself. And sometimes I laugh. Now I kind of laugh. But there are certain comments you just want to
Jump through the phone.
But I don't. And I realize where people are coming from when there's all that negativity and hate. And I sort of feel sorry for them. They're keyboard warriors. We all know the chaos of the clicks. You get that and you realize where they're coming from. And it's probably not in a good place. They're probably not in a good place. So if I feel compelled to answer or snap back, even at the worst comment, I'll say, I think you need a hug. And then that makes me feel better. And I answered, but they probably do. And so that it's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
But I've come to, we've been doing this now 12 years.
Yeah.
So it does get easier and easier in some ways, but it's just never, as a parent, it's just difficult to sometimes accept that narrative. And I hope one day it changes around. And I love it when it does, like when Jake, is elevating women's boxing and doing boxing bullies. And that's where touches my heart. And I try to focus on that stuff for sure.
It's definitely a mental game. And you said something really interesting, which was that, they would lean in to the narrative that people would paint them as. So they would take something bad and make it good, make it work for themselves. When did you notice them starting to have this tool in life? Did you notice it young?
No, I don't think they started out negative, right? It all started love and everyone thinking they're funny and all that kind of greatness. Except, I'll say, when you start to gain fame, then all of a sudden people are like jealous, turn against you a little bit. So that maybe I thought would affect them in a negative way. And I saw it not affect them in a negative way, but I still was affected. But as the years have gone by, and I think a lot of it started with the boxing, where that narrative went crazy. Well, besides when they've hit rock bottom in their multiple
Scandals.
Thank you. Scandals. I understood it more then, I think. So I just didn't really pay attention to it. We had other things to worry about.
Who are you worried about more? Jake, behind the scenes, I feel like has more of like a softer heart. Like he takes the energy of the room. Logan's like, I am the energy of the room. You guys are changing like as soon as I rap. Which one were you worried about more?
Always Jake.
Yeah, right?
Always. From the time he was little. I mean, he came by that name, Problem Child. He named himself that, but it's very appropriate. I said he was born colicky. He still is.
Such a
You know what I'm saying? But you are absolutely right. He's got a huge heart.
Yeah, he
Big caretaker, wants to help everybody.
Did that
even
water
when he
away?
shouldn't be. He does it to this day.
That's good.
Always helping everyone. And, just a huge heart. And I love to see it.
What was the hardest, like, when you're writing, you relive it, especially when they're like poking at you and asking you and opening up that wound. And then you're like, man, dude, I kind of buried this. And then you start remembering things that you kind of like put back there.
Yes.
What was like when you were writing it, you like kept crying while you're writing. You're like, I don't even know if I could finish this. I don't even know if I want to finish this.
Right. It wasn't really, I think some of it was about the divorce a little bit and how the kids were affected. Not how I was affected. I wasn't going to cry about that again. It was how they were affected. Yeah. And maybe how,
That's so funny.
How it affected them today.
Yeah.
Right? How you think back, what could I have done better? What should I have done better? Parenting doesn't come with a handbook. Every parent learns that, but it's true. But I think the Suicide Forest was hard to write about because I didn't know how much it would dig up with Logan and make him feel, I don't know, reliving it, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit hard. Jake's things, not as hard to write about, but it just reminded me how much we've been through with Jake and people coming after him when it's not even warranted. He got a lot more of that than Logan did.
Yeah.
A lot more.
What is something that you feel because you had to dive back in, and when you say about your marriage, your divorce, and what is something that you felt you learned in that moment when you were kind of rewriting it and relearning it? Is there something new that you learned?
Yeah, that I'm very thankful that I actually put on my own oxygen mask first, and so I could survive and get out of a situation. I don't even think I knew at the time how much that was going to go forward into the future to help other women, men. I've had people reach out to me after the HBO series and episode 6. I thought I was going to be highly judged in a negative way for that whole
Could you explain that for people that don't know?
Yes. So go watch. No.
No.
Just read the book. No. So it was very dramatic between Greg and I. Greg told his truth about the divorce and I told the truth. And I thought I would be judged like, oh, she left her family, like he said, like just left them there and abandoned them for 29 days and disappeared. And first of all, that's not even true, but that's what he said. And so I thought people would like come at me. It was completely the opposite. People came and wrote to me, email, DM, whatever. And we're like, we're so proud of you. You have given me so much strength to get out of this relationship I need to be in. I had a young gentleman reach out to me, how his mom is in a bad situation and his grandma, and they were trying to get out of it. And he had them watch that episode and it totally gave them the courage to be resilient, which is, I think, also what I learned is how resilient that actually was. Because I was very much in love with Greg. I never expected that we would be divorced, but the constant, I'm not focusing too much on that unless you want me to. But
you said in your book that it was better for you to leave than have your children watch you as a punching bag.
Exactly.
I need you to elaborate on that. Like, I have a good relationship with you and Greg. But again, like, I didn't peel back the onion. Me and you have never sat back and like discussed it. And if you're comfortable, I'd love to discuss it, because like divorce, a lot of people don't want to say it affects them, but it does. It affects the kids.
Oh my gosh.
And so when you're watching it trickle down into them being almost 30 years old, and you're seeing it, you still feel like you made the right decision. You still feel like I had to do that. Like, what was the punching bag like? And did the kids know about it? Or were they kind of like, did you hide it from them?
No, at the time they were too young. They were too young to realize what was actually going on. I think if I had stayed and it kept going on, I would have been this meek, mild, crunched down version of myself. I wasn't happy and I wasn't being the best mom that I could be, and I knew it. I sensed it. Greg would tell me that I was a bad mom. He would constantly undermine what I was doing. If I took the kids here, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. Oh my God, we got in this huge fight one day. We were driving in Olmsted Falls going to a frog jumping contest, go figure. And the car was low on gas. I'm driving, the car's low on gas. He's in the car too. Kids are in the back seat. And the bell goes off that the car's low in gas. And I swear he berated me for a half hour. We even went home. We never went to the frog jumping contest. Oh, darn. And because he was berating me so bad that I was putting the kids in danger because gas was low. We weren't in East Africa. We were probably a mile away from a gas station. Just the constant verbal attack that I wasn't doing things right. I actually thought like he was the one unhappy, the way he was treating me.
Yeah.
And I don't think any parent should put up with someone treating you like that. And I think if your kids keep watching that, and especially, no, both boys and girls, I take that back. I didn't want my boys to feel like that's okay how to treat a woman. And I was weak enough when I was with Greg. I'm a completely different person today. David would even look at me like anything. Really? You know, I would never have done that with Greg. Maybe if I was a different person or the person I am today, it would be different. But I was very weak. You know, I went from a controlling mom and dad to a controlling husband. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And so looking back, yes, I'm still very happy that I went and made a wonderful life with a wonderful person who treats me right. And I wanted my kids to see that. I wanted them to see a husband who treats their wife with love, kindness, respect, and puts them first.
How did that go about? Like,
So-
how do you break it to the children? How do you break it to Greg?
So, at the time, I wanted to take that part really slow because I didn't want to be traumatizing to the kids. That, oh my gosh, there's, somebody different. And Greg was, I can't even tell you the torture he put me through, as I left the house and left him. That was just really bad. And so I didn't introduce the kids to David when we started dating. I waited a long time because I didn't want them to be traumatized over it. But Greg didn't allow that to happen. It was, your mom left. She's with another man. She left us. Meanwhile, he's got a girlfriend who pretty much moved into the house 6 weeks after I was gone. So he says one thing.
That's tough to welcome a woman inside of the home in front of your children that quick.
Oh no, it was quick. I
never heard that side of it, man.
Well, of course you didn't.
That's
Of course. You
also,
just- yeah.
I would like to respectfully let you know that if Greg watches this episode and he wants to be on this show, I would always invite him in because I love both of you
He can't say
guys.
anything he hasn't already said.
Got it. Okay, I just want to make sure that you know, so that way, like, if there's something that he wants to express, I don't want to feel like I'm only showing one side of things.
He has said on Logan's Impulsive podcast the most crazy things. I've just had to live through it, swallow it, and ignore it.
How did you guys start patching back up? Because now you have David.
Yep.
I'm assuming you're happy with David.
Yeah.
And then, look at this.
You're so cute.
And then
He's so cute.
now my children, Jake and Logan, are coming over. This is starting to work out. Did you and Greg were like, hey, let's just stick this out for the kids, let's be mutual? Or was it kind of like when they blew up, you're like, hey, we're got to be a part of this life and let's be cool about it?
Yeah, we never really had a conversation. It was, we mutually had the same goal and thought for our children, meaning we wanted to support both of them. And I feel like, I mean, this is delving very deep into once Greg ended up in a happy relationship a few years after our divorce, he calmed down. And he started, I think, he was happier, so it calmed him down. And that was really, really helpful for the kids. And even though that relationship didn't work out, I feel like he started to see me, and I want him to tell his truth about that. My perception is he saw my point of view a lot better because he ended up in a very similar situation with this gal. And I think he saw my point of view a little bit better. I could be making that up, but I know he settled down and he was much nicer to me.
Was he like this in the beginning?
Like what?
Like the way you're describing him is like he mentally abused you.
Oh, yes. He
So
was not like that in the beginning. Nope. Not at all. We had so much fun. There's two breakdowns here. Was Greg like that in the beginning? Absolutely not. Where he turned and why he started becoming more disrespectful, I have no idea. That's why I thought he was unhappy. But I think it had to do with responsibility. Do men get scared when they have responsibility in kids? Do they become terrified? And
I think every man should. I think a good sense of fear. I think that's what kept my dad grinding. And I don't know what made him switch. I just wanted to know from your perspective, like, when did the romance stop? Was it before or after the kids? Was it like when they were teenagers? Like, when were you like, oh, like the happy ever after is not coming? Like, I need to leave. Like,
it happened quick. It was that last year. And it wasn't like the romance stopped. I did love Greg.
Did you try to work on it?
Like, that's a whole nother story. Until I was like, whoa. I had people coming to me telling me that he was verbally abusive.
Yeah.
And one friend of ours said, we know he treats you like shit. We just thought you were okay with it. So you keep hearing these things as you go along and you just start waking up.
Yeah.
I became mature. I had 2 kids. I grew one way and Greg did not. And then he definitely grew into having this horrible attitude towards women, I'll say, sorry, because he was so bitter that I left him. And he would talk very bad and it was not good. And he was also teaching the kids that kind of behavior.
I don't want to speak too much for Greg because he's not here. It would be unfair.
Right.
But from what I'm grasping, you were mentally abused. And then over here on his end, he thinks that you just wanted a better life and you escaped to somebody better.
That's exactly what he said.
But here's the thing. As a child, that's so damaging to hear, man.
So damaging.
From both ends of it.
Yes.
From both ends of it. Yeah. My mom's leaving us to go produce a better life. Like, that kind of makes me feel like my mom abandoned me.
Yeah.
And then my dad bringing a new girl around makes me feel like a woman is replaceable quick.
Right.
So, sorry, this is so uncomfortable because I'm like diving in quick to it. But did you find David before you left Greg?
I knew David when I was pregnant with Jake. I totally knew him. He was a doctor.
Were you falling in love with him behind the scenes?
Absolutely not. No. If you would have said, I'm going to be married to Dr. Stepnick one day.
Wait, wait, hold on. He was your kid's doctor?
No. He was my dad's doctor.
Got it.
But he was no. Oh,
yo,
God. Wow.
Let's call in Greg real quick. No,
yeah. No. I didn't look twice at David ever, like in any way like that at all.
So he said you left for 28 days.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I moved out of the house into our mutually agreed upon rental property. Like, we agreed I would move in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Where he got the 29 days was?
You're just taking some space.
No. I did not go anywhere.
Oh, you didn't even go?
I left.
Yeah.
We shared the kids week to week. There was no space in between.
Oh, okay.
He had 1 week on. I had 1 week on. 1 week on, 1 week out. from the very beginning, he begged me to share parenting. I did not want to. I got trapped in his lawyer's office, being lambasted by he and his lawyer to do shared parenting. Look, everybody does it. And I felt so bad for Greg that I agreed.
How come he didn't have a choice?
How come I didn't?
No, how come he doesn't have a choice? Like, I know, like, if you didn't want to do that, like, I'm new to this, but like, why do you have the full right to
Because
custody?
I was the caretaker mostly. He was working all the time.
And I have to ask a question, and I hate to ask this question, but if I'm doing my job, I have to ask. this
Yeah.
question. Is there a physical abuse?
No,
So he never laid his hands on you.
no. But when he threatened to, that was the knife that severed my heart on November 21st, 2001. It's in the book, F the Pauls.
21?
It's actually, yeah.
Wait, hold on.
No,
2001?
12?
2001.
2001.
Yeah, sorry.
I was like,
I'm way.
COVID was
I forgot
hard
how-
for you guys, huh?
I forgot how old I was. No,
The fact that you remember the date made me.
oh, it was tragic. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean,
You don't point a won't face. He was getting more and more and more aggressive, right? Just verbally.
yeah.
And so when he started for no good reason, and this whole story is in People Magazine, by the way, today, because they read the
So
chapter.
could you break it down for us?
Yes. So he was upset with the boys, both of them, because there was some peeling wallpaper in our little bathroom. Remember, I don't know if you guys know this, but there was borders back in the day. There was borders around the wallpaper, and it was peeling. And one of the boys was probably sitting in the bathroom playing with it and peeling it.
By
Greg,
the way,
yeah,
it's a very fun thing to do.
I know. I didn't think, what's the big deal? Though it was fish.
Yeah.
Who cares? We could
Yeah, it's
loot it,
wallpaper.
right? Okay. Anyway, so by this time my eyes were starting to open a bit, and I was becoming unhappy for sure in that summer of 2001. But anyway, I digress from the story. He was really mad, like strangely mad about it. So he was yelling at the boys, and he locked them in the bathroom, in the little teeny bathroom, and said, I'm not letting you out until you tell me who did this. Somebody's going to have to fess up.
How old?
5 and 7. And so, I don't know, 5-10 minutes later, he lets them out. Jake admits to doing it, but he didn't do it. Logan did it.
Oh.
Really?
Logan convinced Jake to admit it. So I didn't know this at the
You
time.
terrible human being, dude.
I didn't
You
know.
suck.
No.
That's so mean.
They've reconciled over it. So Greg drags Jake, and I have a PTSD a little bit about people swatting and spanking their children because my dad made us each our own paddle, and my brother was paddled a lot, and so I don't like. It makes me almost cry to think about it. So when Greg did that, and he took Jake over to the couch and spanked him, I was traumatized. Keep in mind, I was already becoming very disenchanted. And Jake's crying his eyes out. He took my little baby upstairs, put him in his room. Jake's crying. I go up the stairs to try to comfort Jake, and Greg blocked the stairs and said, you are not going up there. Meanwhile, we had plans to go over to our friends. I was scared. I couldn't help Jake. I gathered Logan up, went down to our friend's house, went in, stayed there a couple hours with them, and came back home. So I come back home. Greg is furious that I left. But he couldn't leave with Jake because he punished him. I don't know why he didn't come, but he didn't. And he was so mad at me. What did you tell them? What did you tell them? Screaming at me. And I'm like, I told him we were in a fight. I can't remember what I said. But he was so mad. So he takes his finger and he's got it in my face. And you know Greg's face. It's scary. He's got his finger in my face and he's yelling, fuck you. And he's saying the words over and over 2 or 3 times. And I'm like this. I have my hand on the phone to call 911. And he said, if you were a guy, I'd punch you in the face right now. This is the love of my life. Done. Nope. Not going to subject myself to going down that road. I've already been down the verbal. So there was no physical to me. There was physical to them. And that did continue on. And I know it did. I have proof. Talk about receipts. I got receipts. So when Greg says he did lay a hand on the kids, you can sit here and tell everyone like he did on, like I said, he can't say anything he hasn't already said. He only has his truth and everyone else has theirs, and that's fair. But I'm here to tell you what really, I have notes. I have a file folder full of all of this. I wrote down at the time with the timestamps because I keep notes. That's how I got a book.
Yeah.
Reliving this, has it discomforted your guys' new like ground?
Okay, so we started out with the question, how do we come back together? We had to from the kids.
At what point?
Like when they were in LA, like they got to LA, we had to collab. We both, in my book, goes very, I had one reporter say, I think you went easy on him. You seemed really nice to him in the rest of the book. Like you just told your truth. And then the rest of the book, you guys seem to be together. And it still is that way. We had to. We were the only two parents in the world who were going through what we were going through. There's still to this day is no two parents that have been through what we've been through together. So we had to be strong when Jake was at rock bottom, and we just had to be because we love them both. He loves both of his kids. I no doubt about that.
I understand the perspective as parents, like as an adult, but as a kid, do you think it could be damaging to see your parents are only around now because you're successful?
No, that was not it. We were always around, George. They weren't successful to their.
No, hold on. I'm not saying you're abandoning them. I'm saying that mom and dad could hang out now.
No, we could hang out before that. We skipped all of wrestling and football. And high school.
Got it.
Well, no, we were on the same page throughout.
Got it.
Like once he got more happy,
Right.
when he
started playing ball,
started being way nicer. It took 3 years about. We got way more. And by the way, I was always ready to do that. And so was David. Like if Greg had come up to him and was nice, he would have been like, okay, that's great.
How about Jake and Logan when your relationship with them when that happened? Like, did they trust you? Did they lose trust in you? Like, did they lose trust in their mom and dad? I don't want to be disrespectful at all when I ask this.
Yeah,
but
no.
when did they stop calling you guys mom and dad and start calling you guys by their names? Because I feel like that's a form of disrespect.
I know. I've heard you say that.
And I've told them to chill out on that.
Yeah. I don't really, Greg doesn't like it. I don't hate it because I know how they treat me when the camera's not on. Like they don't call me Pam. They call me Mama. Mama. They, if you look at a text from Logan and it's, I love you, Mama. It's my sweet, sweet mother, that kind of thing. So I don't really see it that way. It doesn't, like if they only called me that, maybe I wouldn't like it.
Have you ever addressed it to them and been like, hey, like, I'm your mom?
No.
Does it bother you?
No, I don't think it really does. Unless they called me that all the time.
Right.
Then maybe.
So, like, when your kids are sitting at the table, do they lean more with your perspective or are they split in the middle? They lean more on your perspective.
It's almost embarrassing sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, that could be tough.
It's almost
be really tough.
They have grown up, and I did want to touch on this because you're talking about the, kind of trauma as their kids.
Yeah.
My family and friends told me all along, your kids will see it. Don't worry. The counselors told me, because I was thinking I was going to stay because I didn't want to leave them.
Yeah.
Thinking of I'm leaving them like kind of with the devil.
Yeah.
And I didn't really say that to myself. I mean, I did say it to myself. I didn't say it out loud. The counselors said, do not do it. He will not change. I had one counselor tell me he's a psychopath.
These are aggressive words.
I know. I didn't think she should say that.
By the way, I just want to let you know, I feel like I'm so involved in the family that I feel like I wish I would have had Greg here to like,
Yeah,
like
that
I'm
could have been
mediating it.
interesting.
And maybe we
Except
could do
he
that.
write a book, so.
Yeah, right?
you know,
I know he's head down right now.
Yeah, it's like I've been here.
yeah, he's not, because he threatened to it. We're like, Logan's like, Dad, then go ahead, write your book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he gonna say? Pam left me. Okay.
Can I ask you
There's a lot
something?
of
Did
good
did Logan actually do that exact joke? Where
No.
he wrote it out?
No.
It was very much like the way he tells it. So I understand where he gets it from.
Maybe I'm getting low. They're rubbing off on me rather than the other. No, but Jake and Logan have come back around, and they absolutely know and see, and they have come to me directly and told me in the within the last 5 years, both of them separately, more than once, we get it. We don't know how you were ever married. I have all their team friends say that to me all the time. Like, you guys are so different. How were you ever married? And Jake came out. I hope you're not mad at me. I said this, Jake, but and had a very, very, very special conversation with David this last year that made us all break down in tears. He told him he loved him. Said some other things that I won't say, but it was very, very sweet. And it took, so you say, was it detrimental to my kids? Nope, I wouldn't do anything different. God has a plan. We laugh. And it was destiny. I would go to church when I left the house and pray, God, show me if this is not the right thing. Please, beg. Show me, show me, show me, show me. Because Greg never allowed religion in our house. We were not allowed. And when I say that,
Wait, what?
that's how I felt. I was like a little
what?
girl.
What do you mean?
Oh, he would not let me baptize the kids. And he said if I told him I wanted to take them to church, he would tell them that he was going to take them fishing. Which one do you think they're going to pick, Pam? That's what he'd say to me. So the second I left, the first thing I did was reconcile with my uncle. So traumatizing.
What does that mean?
What happened with your
That's a whole story in the book. But I'll tell you. And got them baptized.
What age?
They were that time 7 and 9. I wish I brought
Because I remember
Little
when we were in front of the Grove and you showed me a rosary, you're like, oh, this is Jake's baptism rosary.
Yeah, it's
And I was like, so when you said they were, that threw me off because I was like, wait a second, how could they be baptized? So man, you took them out of a home and then had to baptize them.
Yep. And Greg's family.
Greg, not looking too hot right now when it comes to that, dude. That's
Greg's family was so happy, especially his grandmother, because she would go to church every single day. We say she was friends with the Pope, that's
Greg's
how close.
family?
His grandmother.
So did Greg come from an abusive home that kind of changed his mind about religion or something?
You have to ask him.
His church hurt, I just
And
think
now I'm understanding the perspective.
I wouldn't say it was an odd upbringing for sure.
Some people weaponize religion, and when that happens,
No.
so scarred by it that they try to save
No,
their kids.
it wasn't that. Greg was a rebel. Always was, still to this day is. And he didn't like something that happened in CCD, we called it. Then it was PSR. CCD, then it was PSR. Now I don't know what the religion classes are. But there were things that happened and questions he asked, because he always questions everything, which you know. And he didn't like the answers, and he just...
got up and left.
Yeah. So he wouldn't... So I baptized the kids, where we got off that subject. But I prayed and prayed, show me, if I'm not doing the right thing. I would make dumb deals with myself. If I call Greg and he answers on this phone call,
I'll stay.
I'll stay.
Oh,
He-
that's showing
he
signs.
didn't answer. I asked for signs to this day. That's how I know Jesus and God have our back. I ask, I get the signs.
I have
That's it.
to ask. Okay, so that could get tricky because biblically, it's very clear that anybody who looks for signs is cursed.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So because, and I'm not saying what you did. I think
It's the only thing I knew what to do.
I think this is outside of your situation.
Yeah.
But some people are like, oh, if I make this basketball hoop, I'm gonna go to college. And if not, I'm gonna do this. And it's like, my man, you suck at basketball. I don't think you should put it up for that test. So that to me is like a big no-no when it comes to that. I think you were mentally checked out as soon as he crossed the line, you're just looking for the door and you're trying to find that. But I want to talk about this. You said your uncle, and from the way you choked up, I'm assuming that your uncle warned you and told you not to marry this man.
No, my mom did. Her brother is Uncle Bill. So my mom had a brother, Uncle Bill. He did not warn me not to marry him. My mom did. Of course, you don't listen to your mother. Yeah, she and Greg really never got along. But my Uncle Bill was my godfather, and my Aunt Pat was my godmother. Really close, spent all the time with my cousins, my 3 cousins, their kids, and we were all very, very, very close growing up. And thankfully, we were able to get back to that. But Greg and I wanted to build a house, the Bradley Road house that still is in the family. And my uncle was an excavator, and we were young, and we only had so much money, and we hired Uncle Bill to do the excavating, and then Greg was kind of like the general contractor. And this is a great quote in the book. The only thing they could construct together was an argument. And it was horrifying because Greg blamed Uncle Bill, and Uncle Bill blamed Greg, and it was just this big, huge fight. Tons of money wasted with, putting rock down in soil, and I won't go into all the silly details with that. But it was a waste of money, and then Greg would tell my uncle, "Don't tell Pam I did this." I've never known in my life for Greg to go against or behind my back and tell somebody something, "Don't tell Pam." That was an eye-opener. Because I was paying for it. And I don't want to say I paid for everything, but I'm the one with the steady job, the health insurance, the college education, etc. A lot of it was because I was working. Greg had a real estate job, which was up and down, up and down. So I was just as much entitled to know where our money was going as anyone was.
Well, a man and a woman become one, everything's one.
Right?
Everything's one.
Yeah, so don't
And
tell,
I don't understand
regardless.
how men and women are like, this is my bank account, this is your bank.
Yeah, you know what Greg's first comment when I left was, and he would tell people this, and they'd come back to me, was, "I lost our double income. I lost her income." I think he told the kids that. I won't quote that for sure, but I think I've heard that from them. And I know I've heard it from other people. Do you know how degrading that is? Your wife left,
Yeah.
your girlfriend moves in, you get a dog, and you tell people that now you don't have her income anymore. So anytime I would think about going back to Greg, I would remember all of this.
Right.
So the uncle. So argue. We owed him money. He put a lien on our house
Oh, damn.
because he didn't think Greg would pay him, because Greg told him he wasn't going to pay him. Plus my uncle.
Good reason why to think you're not going to get paid.
Yeah. That's a really good reason, right?
That's a fair reason.
Fair, right. But it was my godfather. How dare you do that to me? You're a man in my life that should be helping to take care of me. And to Greg,
Yeah.
why are you guys not taking care of me? And maybe that was weirdly naive, because yes, it was. But they both really disappointed me. But I wanted to have kids. I was in love with Greg. And I had to choose sides because he would tell me, "If you talk to your uncle, I will kill him. If you talk to your uncle, I will kill him." This was a theme over and over. Split the entire family apart. Christmas was no longer. My sister and brother couldn't speak to my uncle because they were trying to be on my side. My mother raised my uncle, so he was like one of her children, tore them apart.
Yeah.
It was awful for a few years. It was just so bad. My best friend, cousin, Terry, we still saw each other, but it was very strained because Greg was best friends with Robin, her husband. My other cousins I didn't see for at least 5 years. And so it was a horrible time. And he constantly threatened me that he would kill my uncle. I believed him.
Yeah.
Like, that's dumb now. Really dumb. I should have, sorry, Uncle Bill, you're deceased. But, maybe I should have said, "Oh, really? Go ahead." Like today, I would have been like, mm-hmm. But then I believed he would do it. And,
Wait, is your uncle passed away?
yeah.
Did you connect with him before?
Mm-hmm. 2 things I did when I left Greg. Reconnected with that part of the family. That was February 22nd. It was my cousin's birthday, 2002. And I knew I was leaving Greg. We already gone through I was moving out in March and stuff like that. And I called my uncle's house. Still remembered their phone number. And I said, hey, it's Pam. Can I come over? They're like, yes. Get over here right now. Everybody's here. It's Don's birthday. Came over. They welcomed me like, we wondered when you were going to wake up. We knew you would. We just were waiting.
This is tough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you
I
do that.
And so, people can question why I made the choices I made. These are why.
So this book comes out. You guys are 23 years into it since the 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Or
It's 21. David and I have been married
25 years. 25 years.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, so 25 years. And
Yep.
to be honest, when I was watching you guys from the side, I knew you guys were like, hey, let's wrap up this hangout as fast as we can. You guys are not like best friends, but you guys were very amicable and you guys were very like respectful to each other. I never heard you badmouth him. I heard him,
Badmouth me. Go ahead, say it.
not
I know you
badmouth
did.
you, but very much stand on his standpoint of you left
Yeah.
and left the whole family. But he never
I
swore.
didn't leave the whole family.
Yeah.
I left him.
I'm just saying his perspective. Yeah.
No, we shared custody.
Yeah.
I will keep sticking up for myself.
Yeah. I mean,
Trust me.
when I hear his story, it didn't seem like that.
Yeah.
And again, like this is tricky, but I'd love to have him on and have that talk. Okay, so you're growing up. This book's coming out. Are before you release it? Are you like, this kid really like put it all back in there, or are you like, nah, I'm gonna speak. I'm over it.
So I'm going to put this nicely. Like, I was going to go way more easy into my story of chapter 3 of Greg and some of the things. But when he went on camera and told the story on HBO, that was, to me, a lie. Not everything was a lie. I did leave him. I did marry someone else. I had that relationship and developed that relationship while we were going through divorce. You can look at that however you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's what it was. But when he went on and said some things that I took really personally, like the 29-day thing, like I abandoned my children, game on, buddy.
Yeah.
Went back to my story and put way more in it.
What do you think is like, I don't want to give out too much because I want people to go and get the book, but in chapter 3, what do you think is the hardest thing? Like, what did he talk about? What was your perspective?
What did you talk about?
When you said he went on camera on HBO,
Oh,
and what was his perspective of it?
his perspective was like, he told the kids, your mom is off having this affair with somebody who's a married man, and she left us for 29 days, and I took care of the kids. That is so not true. And financially, guess who took care of the kids? David Stepnick, my husband.
When did your
Financially.
kids find out about that?
I don't know when they found out about that. I never talked about it with them.
I think it's interesting because you shared that moment with Jake and how he went to Nick, and when you're a kid, your perspective of life is so incredibly different, and you believe what you are told, right? What's so simple in front of you. And then as you grow up, you're really able to study the people around you, and it's just like all new eyes, they see you in all new eyes, they see their father in all new eyes. And so that must feel like a breath of fresh air for you to feel like, okay, you actually understand,
My family told me it would happen. They knew it because they know who I am and they know who Greg is. They totally knew. And they've, like you said, they see it. When they were little and Greg was pounding into them, like he pounded into them that your mom abandoned us. And I definitely believe that Jake took that more to heart and it affected him differently than Logan, who can blow things off, like you've said.
I think it affected him.
I'm sure it did. He won't admit it yet. Jake thinks it
I'm
did
starting
too.
to realize that Logan is he's so good at telling a story and getting people to believe it that he's able to do that with himself.
hmm
And I think
It could be a protective mechanism
100% it is.
where Jake just is so emotional, he just keeps it buried and then it comes out. Right?
Yeah.
You see it maybe in his relationships where, that it's scary. Like maybe this could happen to me because Greg would tell them, like, a woman will always just leave you and she could do that. Like really, really difficult stuff. When I say torture, I mean verbal torture. And I believe that kids, like you said, Shawna, that kids hear it over and over and over. And I didn't say a word. I never said anything to Jake and Logan in those young, formative years. What was I going to say? I knew it wasn't right to do that. It's psychological warfare.
So, okay, we knew about this side of Greg.
Mm-hmm.
We get married to Greg.
Mm-hmm.
We have a family with Greg, and then you're like, hey, you know what? Like, this is going in a direction that I don't see it being good. I think it's better for me to leave now than watch my kids grow up looking at me as a punching bag. You separate. You say that thing. He says this thing. You now come out with a book. He's on HBO. Is there a season 2 of this show, or is like
There should be.
is there going
And
to
it
be?
would probably feature Greg because he is a very
Sure,
polarizing.
isn't he a person on the show? Like
No, I meant Greg would be the main character.
Oh yeah.
He's way
I
more
said
interesting
that
than I am.
I said that from the jump. I said if you guys have a reality show, like
Yeah, you can just listen to Greg. I mean, we still laugh. My husband David sits back and laughs at what Greg says because he can be hilarious, right?
Yeah. He's polarizing.
To this day, I don't think Greg has said one word to David. And we spent holiday HBO filming 3 or 4 holidays now that Esme's around. Bless her little heart.
how is he calmer? Is he softer now that he's a
He's
grandpa?
softer around her,
Yeah,
but in general,
they're very hardworking. Do you think that they get it from because the GP beat down growing up? Like, hey, you
no.
can't.
Greg does work hard, and they saw it. Like he had to work hard to survive.
Yeah,
But I liked that about Greg. My family are hard workers.
yeah,
My parents, my mom was a vice president of a corporation. My dad worked his ass off, building boats and accident reconstruction, and working really, really hard. My whole family's academia. They learned it by seeing everything.
yeah,
But they spent a lot of time with Greg helping him work. Does that make sense?
yeah.
When they came to my house, I didn't take them to work with me to see all the people I was taking care of. I didn't do that. And I also didn't beat them down to mow the lawn and do that because I already knew they were doing that at Greg's house.
Yeah.
And I thought as a divorcee, it's not fair. You have to mow your lawn at your dad's house. You have to mow my lawn. You have to do. No, I was the caretaker, always will be. I let him take that role. But they saw me work, but they don't hardly ever give me credit for that. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, because they do mention GP.
Always mention their dad, which is absolutely fine with me. I want them to have a good relationship. I want them to love him and, want to work as hard as he did.
Did they ever want to stay at your house more because they're like, this is way better. Like, I don't have to do that much.
Mm-hmm.
And what stopped you from letting that happen?
The court. I asked the kids, do you want me to go back to court and get custody? And they'd be like, no, we think it might get worse. Dad might get worse if we do that. It might make him go over the edge a little more. They were worried about him for a few years there when they were little.
It seems to me that...
And they did spend more time at my house when they could.
Did they... Okay, then... This kid, from a perspective of the child, it looks like they kind of earned their stripes more than was like passed down. So maybe that's kind of like psychologically why they're like, you're not dad, you're Greg.
Get out of my face.
Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right. That's their perspective. We have done way more than you have done, Dad. So don't tell us what to do.
Because that's
I'm
what
going
he
to call
gave them.
you Greg.
Yeah.
Plus, he does some things. I feel like I'm really throwing poor Greg under the bus.
Don't think that. You definitely are.
Okay.
So if you were thinking that, just know you're on the right page, Daddy.
Greg, this is all George's fault.
No, I'm just asking.
Ask me the question.
Did you guys go this deep on impulsive or no?
What? No. Mm-mm.
Oh,
only on HBO did they separate. They had a separate though. You know
Oh,
what
so
I
I'm
mean?
diving a little bit too deep. Did you think I was gonna dive this deep? Because I could tone it back. I just wanted to know.
It's a little late. But
I mean, hey,
having
you
said
dove
that-
deep in there, so
Yeah,
you know.
but having said that,
That's going in the trailer, dude.
yeah.
Let me hold this cover up.
So well, then you can read.
By the way, I love that it says written by their mother.
That's right. Also, that was my idea because I needed to tone it down a little.
I like
But
it.
the top was Logan's idea too, like the cross off of the Paul.
Yeah.
I signed it for you, and I wrote you a little three pages in. Three?
There's no song.
No, three.
Oh, three
Three
pages
in.
in. Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh.
Did you? So okay, I don't know where we left off, but I'm gonna jump into a
This
different.
is yours.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
When you were younger, right? And you were a nurse before. And you're in the medical field. And all
Still
that.
a nurse. Let me
you-
just preface.
Are you still practicing?
Yes, but not in a hospital system.
Oh, amazing!
Mm.
Wow, I want to know about that.
Little facial stuff.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's nice. But did you ever see yourself where you are now, where your family is now? Because you had
100% no.
Yeah.
Not ever, ever, ever. The first time I even thought like, oh my gosh, this could be a career for the both of the boys was when they moved to LA and they were making enough money to pay for everything on their own, except for they were still on my health insurance, and I paid their cell phone for a little while.
Yeah.
Other than that, then I knew, well, and if it failed, they were young enough, rebuild.
Right.
Were you ever scared that they would get so successful that they kind of distance themselves from you guys?
Never.
Because you just had that relationship?
Yeah.
Did you think that was going to happen with them and Greg?
Nope.
Was there ever?
They love their dad, and strangely, I love him too. I always stick up for him. I end up.
I stick up for him, bro. To be honest, I didn't hear these side of the stories, so I would just hear
Of
Greg's
course
side
you
of the
did,
stories. So,
George,
by the
because-
way, do you know how many times I've pulled Logan aside and be like, "Hey, yo, dude, chill out on your dad, bro. Like, you're being a mean butt." And now I'm understanding the dynamic was more like, hey, we got to be men and grind and you
Yeah.
got to work. So technically the way he's treating his father is exactly the way he built this man to treat his father.
He absolutely did.
So
You
I can't wait to have the conversation with Greg. I already know he's going to hit me up.
You literally reap what you sow, because they could hate me to pieces
Yeah.
from all of what they've been told.
Yeah.
I just lived by example. That's all I could do. And here we are. And they are amazing to me. I feel like even in their busy lives, if I text Logan right now, he will text me back immediately. If I text Jake, no. No disrespect. He just if he's busy, he's like I don't have time to answer that. He'll get back to me. It might be 3 days. But if I said 911, he'd text me back.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but my God, is that a good depiction? When I'm picturing them in the bathroom and Logan's like, all right, you're going to take the blame for this. And here's the reason why. That dynamic, were you ever scared through the whole like diss tracks and like Jake and Logan definitely went at each other's necks? I think Logan was the one that took the gloves off. I think Jake kind of was like more, I pulled my punches when it came to that.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
Until I fact checked.
No way.
Jake made the first diss track and Logan retaliated. I had to get that straight too. I asked Logan and he proved it to me.
Yeah.
And he was right.
But okay. I really hope they don't get mad.
No, I thought the Logan's diss track was a little stronger.
I think him
the
sleeping
fall
with
of
his
Jake Paul.
ex-girlfriend was crazy. That's crazy.
Better not put out that TikTok, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy, dog. That's a wild.
He went hard. There's no doubt.
No, that didn't go went hard. That's like, dude, like even the psychopaths are like, hey man, chill.
What for the
you
ones who don't know what happened, because I don't know.
You know, he never told me. He told everybody besides me. I found out via online, dog.
That was gonna happen. Or,
That did happen.
I meant that he did it.
Yeah.
Not till it came out.
Dude, they don't tell me anything, dude. And I think,
They don't tell me anything either.
bro, like,
I
I literally looked at him like this when I found out. I go, and I was like, Dad, like that's to me, it's like it's a little bit too much. Okay, sorry.
It was hard watching that, no doubt at all. But you look, they came back around and made the "I Love You, Bro" song. That made me happy.
That song was terrible.
All right. By the way, if you, in case I know,
Honestly, I'd rather them just fight.
in case anybody listening to this is interested in if that was real or not, or if it was, it's also in the book. I cover a lot, George. There's a lot to this book.
Dude, this is a juicy book.
It is
As
juicy.
soon as you leave, I'm like,
And people that read it have told me, there's been 5 people that I've had read it. They were like, I haven't read a book in years. I could not put it down. My one girlfriend read it on New Year's Eve. That's what she did. Read the entire thing. But there's so much more to that than the drama, right? There's all of my toolkits where I'm helping parents, because this is why I wrote the book, to get back to the very first question, why did you write this book, is not to throw everybody under the book or make it a memoir of mine. I feel an obligation as the only parent in my position, mother, to write about the very dangerous world of social media, internet fame, the mental health tolls it takes on people, the things it's doing to our children. What job do kids want these days in the world?
social media star.
I looked it up, chat gave me the ranking. Number 2, social media influencers and creators. And that's a very scary place because parents have no idea how to navigate with their kids.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to do it. So I made it my obligation to write this book. It's one of the main reasons why I wrote it, honestly, with some fun stories in between to, help out. I don't have a PhD. I have experience. And experience is way more important. And there's so many tools in my toolboxes that I used. It could be for general parenting, but our stories are unprecedented. There is no parent who's lived through what we lived through. We were like running through flames with no fire extinguisher, no fire gear, and they got burned. And today, there's so many things that could help you through that, including my book, as parents and creators and anyone on the internet, to learn how to navigate it. Mental health is key. Faith, key. I also talk about manifestation. I talk about resilience, passion, how Jake and Logan got where they are. Again, it's a tribute to their passion and their resilience and their hard work. So I survived through my faith. If I didn't have a strong, and I had to develop that, George.
Yeah.
Because remember, I didn't tap into that until I went to church the minute I left the house. I did go to church here and there, but I had to tap into it and grow. And when I say I got signs, I don't mean I said, I did this with Greg, but calling me, but I would ask for something from God and it would happen. Like I would get on my knees and ask and it would happen. That's the sign I was talking about back before.
Well, I'm sorry.
Go.
I'd love to talk about that, about your faith. And, obviously you either grew up with faith or you don't have it. We waver back and forth, but you really leaned on it. What was the moment for you where you felt like, this is my moment with God? God is not just some big guy up there, but he's my heavenly Father and he loves me and I love him. When did you build that strong relationship with Jesus?
I think it's still ongoing. Like I was raised Catholic, baptized, confirmation, communion. I went to church when I was in high school. I'd go before gymnastics meets with my friend and I felt it then. I did feel it. But then in your 20s, you get away from all that. And I'm with Greg and he wants nothing to do with that. And it's easy to drop and lose connection. But I think I'm still realizing it. It's hard to go, somebody just loves me that much. Like,
Yeah.
Whoa, that's powerful. I think I see it through where God has put my kids. I prayed to get pregnant because we had trouble and we weren't getting pregnant right away. And I prayed to God them really hard to, if you bless me with a child, I will make sure they're responsible and respectful and make a difference in the world. That's what I said all the time. And then I had Logan Then I had Jake, and then life goes on, and you pray quietly in that atmosphere. Then you go back to church, and then this happens. You got to believe, like, my prayers must have been working.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not a expert. I'm more on the learning curve still, reading the Bible and the Life Applications Bible and learning how Scripture pertains to life. And it's a journey. I still think I'm going through it.
It is. I think it's so beautiful that you said, I'm still learning that God loves me this much.
Yeah.
I think it's so true. I think that that's such the pivotal key for so many people is really truly understanding just how much he truly loves us. And he loved us we don't even have to do anything. He already loves us. And that is such a learning curve. And I think it's beautiful and gracious that you can sit here and say that you are still understanding.
I'm still understanding. Totally. And when I read it, like in my, prayer book and my little devotionals, stuff like that, it's like, wow. Like it still hits me. Like, really? Because I didn't have that my mom and dad loved me and I knew they did, but they were also tumultuous divorce. And my mom was busy, working, and my dad was busy doing his thing. And they didn't instill that in me at all. And I was mainly on my own, my brother and sister and I as kids, raising ourselves, it's essentially, after a certain age. So we didn't have that. We didn't feel it. We went to church. My mom would be like, go to church. But she didn't go. And she went all through Catholic school and all that, but she would send us.
Right.
It was like obligation.
Yeah. So then the love between you and God feels legalistic and not because you love
in a Catholic church, there's kids crying and distractions, and you're standing up and sitting down and singing, and I don't know, these songs, and you just took it as like it was an obligation.
Right.
And until you really internalize it,
yeah,
it's really powerful. I don't know how people go through life without having their faith.
Jake's been kind of tapping into his faith lately. How's that feeling?
It's good. I think he's been talking about it a lot more, and I think he feels it. I think, how you have that setback, like it's working really well. God, I'm really believing that God's right by my side. And then something like the Anthony Joshua fight happens and he gets injured. I still want him to believe that it could have been worse. And maybe God stopped.
Did it shake his faith a little bit?
I don't know. I don't want it to. I'm praying that it doesn't. I don't think so. From what I've heard in the last week,
I think him being not knocked out is a sign that God exists right there.
God exists, and there was doctors right there, and my husband was right there, and we were all with him, and it could have been worse, and he laughed it off and could still talk. That's why, as a parent, I didn't freak out. His brain was still intact.
right.
Does it get nerve-wracking, like watching your kid like get punched like that? Like
Jake's never been punched like that. So until this moment, or until that moment, I should say, yeah, it's still nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because he could get punched.
I mean, but even what Logan's doing right now, it's
Also scary.
staged in the fact of being scripted, but the blows he's taking is like
The blow every time. I'm like, I don't want to say that in the
I'm just
microphone.
I'm worried about it. I don't
yeah.
love it.
No, I don't- I
feel
don't-
like he's cashing out his body, and in the future he's gonna like regret it. I know everybody's super excited about it, but
I don't know if he'll regret it or not. Like I ruined my body in gymnastics. I don't regret it. I would do the exact same thing I did.
I mean, no disrespect.
Look, I could have broke my neck.
Like no disrespect. Gymnastics and coming off the rope or like on something to break. Like this guy is getting concussed.
I don't
every
disagree
time.
with you at all.
You know what I mean?
I'm totally in your corner, pun intended.
That-
No, I get it. Yeah.
I'm just worried about it. I do pray about it.
Yeah.
I pray about it.
Well, thank you.
I get nervous that like it just takes one accidental wrong fall and then his life is changed.
That's 100% is why I carry the rosary, and I totally agree with you. I do agree with one thing goes wrong, and they're human, so you can slip off a rope. You can. Somebody makes, oops, I didn't do that quite right, and it happens because it's all live and it's all spur in the moment, even though it's choreographed,
Yeah,
So-
I thought it was fake. Until I was like front row and I watched him smack and I was like, ooh.
No,
Like, that's a real smack.
it hurts when
That's a real
lands with his
smack.
neck on the ground. Oh, I literally shout out, I hate this sport. I literally do that.
No, he's freakishly talented at it.
Yeah. He is.
At least with boxing, it's like you're kind of like once a year, or like if
Unless you're Jake.
Yeah, unless you're Jake, then you're like mowing through it. But
Yeah.
it just worries me. Like I get a little nervous. Like I just don't want to get a call one day and be like, oh man, like I don't want him to be hurt.
Who wants that call? Nobody, ever, ever. I always will worry. Jake thinks I worry too much. So I do, because what's worrying?
Lack of faith. Yeah.
Let go, let God.
Amen.
Fear knocks, faith answers. I love my sayings.
I see her in the mirror
Very
just
good
saying
saying.
them back to herself.
Well, I write them all. How do you think, again, survived in some of the stuff we've been through? Like, I write all this down, and I had to say it like 3 and 4 times a day to get through it.
That's quite interesting, because Jake and Logan have a very big thing of like writing it and reading it, and then like looking at their face while they're reading it.
Mhm.
So do you think they got that from watching you do that during your turbulence? Did you mention that to them?
I 100% taught them about manifestation.
Can we get into that? What is your perspective on manifestation?
Okay. So my dad taught me, and I passed it to them. Had no clue how far it was going to make it into their lives. I would always fall off the beam. I'll make this part short.
What
Always.
was that?
I would always fall off the balance beam. Always.
Gymnastics.
As gymnast, wasn't as practiced as the rest of my team, because I had just started. Always fall off. And I said to my dad, this is horrible. How am I supposed to be a gymnast if I can't even stay on the balance beam? I hate that balance beam. He's like, Pam, you gotta, like, I have the answer. And he went and got these Norman Vincent Peale tapes. Back in the day, you had a tape recorder. And they were The Psychology of Winning. And I somehow gravitated on, there was 8 of them, but I gravitated on this one section. Picture yourself. Picture it, picture it, picture it. Say, I will, I will, I will. Totally stuck with me. Learned it. Stopped falling off the balance beam like that. When the boys were wrestling, I pulled these tapes out. Because Jake, also entered wrestling late, like I entered gymnastics late. Logan had been doing it for a while. And I gave them these tapes. It was before a tournament. They say they didn't place. Well, they're wrong. They did. They listened to this tape specifically, and went, and they both did amazing. So I also gave Logan a book, and he read it. And it's also in here. And they applied it to their life. We would write on their mirror. I would write. Greg did it too. We write on their mirror. Post-its on their mirror. You will be this. You will do this. I will beat whatever his name is in wrestling. I will do it. And it was always up on their mirrors. And they carry that over. You walk into Jake's beautiful whatever house in Puerto Rico, and all over his wonderful bathroom is all what he's going to do. His plan, he's got it all written, whiteboards, Logan too. It's not quite as, as many, but there's still these, I will be the greatest entertainer in the world. I mean, you watched him do it.
That was the first time I ever yelled at him. It's because I was at his house.
Oh, no.
And I erased it. Because I was like, this is messy. And I thought I did a video where I was like, erased it. And he came and he goes, hey, come here. Don't ever do it again. I was like, oh, okay.
See, so as a parent, most parents would probably take it all down and want to clean it up, and nope.
So as a woman of faith, and you talk about manifestation and kind of putting it out there, I personally believe, that I think our tongue, God tells us your tongue is so powerful, right? It's a sword, right? So you can either cut with it or you can make something beautiful with it. And so he tells us that wherever our faith lies, right? There's power in that. So really believing in something, you can make it come true. And so personally, I believe that manifesting in a sense is that you have such great faith in the thing that you believe in, that you work towards it, you're positive towards it, and, it might come to fruition. But I look at it in a way because, like, God is so gracious, and that's
why
he tells us to do that, right? He tells us to have the faith. And
right.
So as a woman of faith, do you look at manifesting in a godly sense, or do you see it as a separate thing?
That's a very interesting question. I love it. I think I've put the two together, and I've also separated them. if that makes sense. In some situations, I think I've put it together because we're told to ask God for what we want. So if you say it in a positive manner, you don't say, well, God, I hope you don't never, please, sometime, someday will.
Yeah.
You say, God, I will. God, please, So those is where I maybe put it together. Where I separate it is my competitive athletic, like your mind is your strongest. You can learn,
Interesting.
be in the gym all you want. Like I could go in the gym and do a back handspring on the beam and land it every single time. Go into a meet, fall off. So that's where my competitive brain separates it. Like I'm not begging God to keep me on the balance beam or whatever it is, win this tennis match. I'm saying I'll be bouncing the ball in my tennis match going, if it's God's will, this will be an ace. If it's God's will, I will win this point. I say that to this day. Does it always come to fruition? No, but does God still work in a way where you can look back and yeah, I got punched, but I survived. I got back up. I didn't win, but I did well. Like it's not like magic. So did I answer your question?
Yeah, no,
Kind
I
of.
think that makes sense because I do see a lot of Christians and a lot of like young women too that are my age that they're starting in their faith with God, but I know that in my generation a really big thing is spirituality, but not a godly spirituality, right? It's more rocks and manifestation and leave it to the universe.
Right.
And I think that line is so interesting, and it can be so tricky because sometimes you can rely, your faith then lies more in your own works and like, well, I made that happen because my mind is powerful versus I put it in God's hands and God blessed me with this opportunity.
It's more God blessed me with this opportunity. He gave those kids, they're his too. But I also believe that your mind is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And if you're saying powerful things, your body will follow. Like there was a saying, your mind throws the first punch. I wanted to get merch. I still could, right?
Yeah, you could.
But it's a combo, I think. But I still think it comes back like the universe is the Lord's.
Yes.
I don't know. Again, I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
I just know that it's powerful.
It definitely is. Every time Jesus healed somebody, he said, continue as your faith is. So it was always the faith that caused the healing. Obviously it's Jesus, but he does it through faith. And in the beginning, God created everything off of his voice. And then he says that I made men in my image. And then he goes on to describe that your tongue could either cause life or death. And then he says that you could literally draw things near you. So if I'm made in his image and my father starts by speaking first, and then I'm assuming this is how it goes. The spirit changes the mind convinces the heart pours out of the mouth. And so if you realize the people that are at the top, they're not confused on why being at the top. No one's like, don't know how I got here. They're like, no, I knew this. I saw this. I vividly picture this. They've built up so much faith that they believe it. I think you could even fake your faith until you believe your faith. And so I think the fake it till you make it thing, dude, like there's times, like an example, if I couldn't get my mind on a certain thing, I would look in the mirror and say it so many times. Eventually I believe it. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I believe it. And then it becomes true. So I think manifestation goes hand in hand with your faith.
You just answer a question perfectly because you have that knowledge of the, that's perfect. And I believe that 100%.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, okay, let's get into it. The book has some tools. The book has past relationships.
I have a lot of tools in
A
there.
lot of tools. Do you want to get into some of your tools, at least one of them?
Yeah. So one very, very, there's so many that are near and dear to my heart. And I'm really passionate about those toolboxes because I feel like the culmination of my book and what I wanted to teach and to impart and to help people are in those toolkits. So we'll go through just, I've already mentioned a few of the things, but one that we really didn't totally touch on is mental health, which is really a problem in today's world.
Huge.
Again, no expert, but I am a nurse. And I have been through ups and downs with Logan and Jake that could have destroyed them. And I believe that their mental health was strong enough to come back and be resilient and come back out of the ashes, we'll say. It's unbelievable. They do have like a delusional optimism about them. And they've developed that. It's not like, oh, my mom told me to be delusional optimist. No. Or not have anxiety, because Jake will tell you he's got anxiety. I didn't even know that until like maybe the recent past 5 years, how much anxiety he actually had, but he worked his way through it. So as a parent, make sure your kid's mental health is as best as it can be. And I know that's really hard to say because a lot of parents don't have good mental health. But if you are going to be on the internet, on the line, online, which who isn't? I feel like you have to be mentally healthy to be able to accept rejection, negativity, or just don't be online. Like, if you ask Logan and Jake their opinions, like, what do you tell parents? Like Logan will say, monitor your kids and, watch their screen time and see who their friends are and make sure you watch what they're doing and put limits and all that really important stuff. And it is important. I thought that was a given, but I've asked a lot of people out there like, no, it's really not. People just let their kids, they have no idea what they're doing.
That's
online.
a wild thing.
Right? No idea. I'm here to tell you, please.
Well, then you grow up with it.
Watch what your kids are doing and know who their friends are and what they're saying. Watch your kids' accounts. Put the blocks. Put the whatever you need to be doing. Don't give them stuff at such a young age, meaning Snapchat. I mean, don't hate me because I said that, but it can be so debilitating.
Yeah.
Jake's advice was don't get on the internet till you're a reasonable age. He didn't tell me which one, but basically don't.
I agree with that.
Just don't do it.
Children should be online without their parents. We're talking young kids, right?
Yeah.
Like kids that are like 10 years old. They're just on an iPad and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that just falls into the category of a lazy parent. I think parents got so comfortable with just handing them like a digital pacifier and just being like, shut up.
People will argue though, it's teaching my kids. Like we watch Sesame Street. I'm just really aging myself.
Yeah.
But we watch Sesame Street. We're looking at a screen. Now I can't interact with it, but I was looking at a screen learning how to count. So people will argue, why not then have an iPad with teachable lessons?
Well, I think it was like there was TV time, right? Like you could only like plug in the TV in the living room at a certain time for a certain amount of time. Yeah. Versus this is like kids are at dinner table, like, parents bring their kids to, I don't want to put any judgment because it's like, we're not even parents yet. So we don't know.
No, I judge.
Overwhelmed.
She's not judging. I judge.
I'm saying because I don't want to put any judgment on anybody. I don't know what your situation is, but it's true that, they bring them to dinner, but then their kids are all just like on iPads, like watching YouTube after YouTube after YouTube. And it's like, I feel like at that age, kids are learning how do you behave around adults. You're a kid, but you should be able to sit at the adult table and converse with the other adults.
And that's what I mean by parameters. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Like that's not family interacting or, learning how to converse across the dinner table like we all did.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a certain time.
Yeah.
That you sit down and, you can go and play this game or learn this lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just heard this and I thought it was really important. I don't know what age his kids are, but the person who invented the Instagram, I don't know what his name is, but he was just on Instagram talking about this and he makes his kids, he knows he's going to lose to this game to a degree, especially as you get older. But he made his kids earn their time. So you do this A, B, and C, I don't know what it was, get good grades, don't get in any trouble, do your chores. You will earn 5 minutes. What do you think about that? I don't know what age he was talking about.
I think it's healthy for kids to know about technology, or they'll fall behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there is a time frame where they need to get on and learn. I'm not against like kids having online presence. I don't, because there's a lot of kids that are young that are making a killer online, and they've learned, they've grown. Like it could be a good thing. I was just messing around. I just don't like it when parents neglect their kid and put something in front of them. Like, I think that's bad. Like, I wasn't allowed to have a TV in my room because my dad's like, well, one, I don't know what you're watching. And he goes, and two, he goes, come watch it out here with all of us. Don't isolate yourself.
Right.
I think isolation is a bigger problem now from social media.
That's
So
good.
have you ever, and this is kind of dark, but if you ever look at these documentaries of these school shooters or like these really, really dark people, their parents are like, what? I had no idea. And it's like, all right, well, then you're stupid. Like, that's your fault. You are the reason why all these other kids died, is because you didn't know what your child was doing under your roof.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. So I think it just, everything's good in moderation. I think that if the mom and dad wants to give their kid an iPad, I think mom and dad need to childproof it, review what they're watching, and be on it. Don't get lazy. Using it as a digital pacifier is laziness. Like, I know a lot of parents that are like, well, no, I'm out here grinding so my kid could have a good life. It's like, I think your kid would rather not give a shit about you making money rather than you being with the kid.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. There's a lot to argue on both sides of that because you actually really do need to make money to keep food on the table and all that. But I do agree, don't use it as a pacifier.
Yeah.
I do, I lost my train of thought. There was something else I thought about, how parents will say, and they'll argue that my kid will be behind in technology. I also think that's valid.
I do. I agree.
You're going to school and they're handing you iPads.
Yeah, no, I agree with this. Also,
Right?
that's terrifying.
I would be, if somebody handed me an iPad to do my scroll work today, I would freak out.
I honestly have a fear that there's going to be a time of day of age where it's like, oh, if I don't catch up, I'm going to be like deleted off of the earth. Like, I won't be able to like move on forward. I really did think about this. I think there's going to be like just a tiny gap, but there's going to be a certain type of people that didn't really jump online the way it is. And when they get to their elder age and they're like, oh, how am I going to pay my electricity bill? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And they're going to be handicapped, but technology wise.
Right.
Yeah.
My mom was. She
Oh, really?
had no idea how to do it. I had to do everything for her
Yeah.
in the last 5 years. We wrote out checks because she couldn't use it.
Yeah.
But think about this, an
Lots of
update.
checks.
Think about an update.
Yeah.
Like, you look on your phone, you're like, I have to update my phone, and then I have to learn about this update.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, at what point do I want to walk away from all this, and am I allowed to come back? Because there's like 9 updates that I don't even know about.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's horrible.
at some point, you're like,
Even in that age.
yeah.
Yeah, we struggle.
Yeah.
He'd be like, why don't you use this? And I'm like, oh, wow. You know, like, but I was going to say, it's already happening now because it's so sad. So many elderly get hacked and they get all of their life's savings taken away because they don't know that, oh, I shouldn't have clicked on that, or, you know what I mean?
And now we're bringing in AI.
Oh,
Wanted to call it evil, but it's kind of good in some ways.
Yeah.
But AI is
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Me and my mom, this is so funny. Me, my mom, and my dad, and my sister, we all have a safe word.
Oh, that's good.
Because if somebody calls pretending to be me,
Supposed to have a safe word.
because they did that to my sister. They did it. Jess, are you still here? Was it an email? What was it? Just real. So Jessica got an email, and basically everybody that's a relative got an update that Jessica's dead and that they need money for her funeral. So people are like calling my mom sobbing, being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I never heard about this. Like, da da da. And to me, that's low, but like hitting somebody who's an elder who doesn't even know how to protect themselves or even know that it's fake or real. I don't know how people could steal from the elderly, dude. I don't know how people could steal in general, but from an elderly, bro, that's like,
Yeah.
be a good thief at least, bro. You know, like,
Yeah.
go bully somebody that you like has a
Somebody
fighting
your
chance.
own age
Yeah.
or something. No.
Okay.
Bullying's another one.
I want to get back to this book.
Yeah.
Were you nervous before dropping it?
I was so ready. So ready. I had lots of time to be nervous, and then it didn't happen a couple times. So I got over it, but nervous. No, I think I was excited. I said I was going to do it. I made a goal. I challenged myself. I still want to learn, even at my age. I want to do different things, which is also something that I'd love to impart to the moms and the dads out there that are older. your life isn't over when you're 60. Just keep learning and going. So to answer your question is I was excited to do it.
Yeah.
What I'm more nervous about is like, obviously I want people to embrace it and love it, but I would love to be able to help people with it. So if I'm not, that would make me upset. Like if it doesn't help people, what good is it really?
Yeah. Well, where could they get F the Pauls?
It's a beautiful cover, isn't it?
Where did you guys shoot this picture?
In Puerto Rico. There were so many photos and Jake wanted the series. So since Logan kind of helped me with the title, I let Jake pick the...
That's sweet. They
I
both
mean,
had their
dog,
kids.
having them smile is a pretty like what the heck?
Yeah, it makes
Like
sense that they're...
family-
There's some smiley pictures in other publications, but you can find it on Amazon.com.
I love this, by the way. Like the
It's great.
crossing out Paul.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
I have a website. It's a landing page, F the Pauls, just fthepauls.com.
Yeah.
Love it.
Amazon.com. My Instagram, Pam-Stepnick. Trying to make some TikToks. It's kind of challenging.
You're so cute. I love you so much. Dude. And by the way, nothing made me like fall in love with you guys more than when you guys both built out your guys' own fan base.
Yep.
That was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. When I was watching them grow, and then both you and Jeep were like, we're starting our own thing. I was like, this is where they get it from. This is what they're getting it from.
I posted on Jake's birthday, and it was a picture of him teaching me to shoot a gun, and it made him cry. My caption was, "We teach them, then they teach us."
Yeah. Aw.
So I am learning from them every day, and Logan gets after me quite a bit, as you might imagine. Like, Mom, you got to do this. You got to sell. You got to create. I'm like, geez, I just wrote the book. I didn't know marketing would be so hard. Why don't you market it,
You're like blue for me.
please?
That's really cute.
Pretty please.
Well, speaking of Logan, your grandma.
I know.
Oh my God.
You have a beautiful, beautiful granddaughter. She's so gorgeous.
It looks like a fake baby.
She's so cute.
She's the most beautiful child.
She's so, and her personality is to die for. She is just precious. Like, yes, she's cute. Yes, she's tall already and
She's tall. Huh?
athletic. She can run, but her personality is very like Nina and Logan both, like contemplative, watching what's going on. I don't know if you, and I use this as an example, but the Pokemon video that he did was classic example where he set out the Pokemons and she went to all three of them that he set out, but there was one over here. She's looking at it. She sees that other one and goes over there. It's like a perfect depiction of her personality.
Yeah.
And she sees everything, and I can't say enough about her, and hopefully I'll be leaving my legacy of this challenge and goal that I met to my grandkids.
We were talking about it a little earlier, and I was asking him, like, is it weird? And you're like, I didn't even think about that. I guess it kind of is. But so how are you feeling? What's the difference that you've seen in your son having a daughter?
Well, first he was terrified to have a daughter because he only knows boys. So he was really like, whoa, I don't know what to do with this. How am I going to handle this type of thing? So to see him transition from being scared to she's wrapped around his little finger, like they say that, but until it happens, you don't really know.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, I never thought I could love something like this much. So it's definitely, Nina's an amazing mother, and Logan is learning, his role, because it's hard when you're the man and the woman knows and is the caretaker and bird the baby and fed the baby, and Logan's gone a lot, so he's learning how to adjust, and it's really cute to see. He's just so proud, and Jake's chomping at the bit to do his own thing and have his own babies, and I'm here for it.
Right. Yeah, he's engaged.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man,
You guys are all growing up.
Yeah, dude. 12 years ago.
How long
It
have you
went by
guys
like
been
that.
married now?
We've been married a year and a half, like almost a year and a half. Well, like in spring, it'll be half. We just had a year in September.
Yeah.
Married.
Okay. What's your anniversary date?
September
First.
28th.
Okay.
What did you just say?
Never mind.
What did I say?
Learn it.
I said
It's because
28.
you know why? It's
I said
because
28.
it's only been 1 year of that day, but before we had our dating anniversary. 'Cause
Right.
we've been together for 6 years.
You've been
six and
a
half
long
years.
time.
Yeah, so I'll give you grace.
So do we call you Belle anymore, or is it just Shawna?
Yeah. No, everybody calls me Belle, and everybody's madly confused.
Yeah. I met you. You were Belle.
Yeah.
Like, who's Shawna?
I was like, what? You heard that for the first time? Ooh.
What? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody's super confused.
Well, I wish you guys all the best in your married life. And the family that prays together stays together. And let me just put it out there, that's probably where we went wrong.
Really? How are you gonna push like faith more on your family now?
Oh, you should know better. You can't push. You need to lead.
That's a
By
great
example.
answer.
Dang, bro.
Okay, Pam.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Drop.
It was such a pleasure. Thank you. By the way, like
you.
Pam's such a sweetheart. Today we had malfunction, so we had to like push it back, and you're just such a
We're
doll.
good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Love-
you.
I love you. And also, I just want to let it be said that regardless of whatever happens between me and Logan, like I will always look at all of you guys like my family.
I know you will.
Like,
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
My dad called me the other day, and he goes, "I just got off the phone with Logan, and he was telling me about this." And he looked at me, and he goes, "This is okay, right?" I was just like, "It's a little too late, buddy."
Wait, you already had the conversation and then told me, and like, what am I going to...
It's so funny. All right, guys, go get the book. It honestly, it's way deeper than I even thought it was gonna get. And I'm gonna crack this open and get started on it.
Nice.
You guys can get this all the places that she said. I'll even put a link in the description, so that way you guys could go get it. I love you guys. Pam, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pam.